Good morning. This is the point I say. Good morning, Kenya. Habari ya mwananchi. Welcome to the Morning Drift. It is Look Up TV, and at this point in time, I want to challenge you to send me feedback real quick and tell me who you are expecting to vote in as your member of parliament. Are you watching from Langata? Are you watching from Migori? Are you watching from Kakamega? Are you watching from Westlands? Where are you watching from, and who do you feel is the best candidate to represent you in the Legislative House? Yes, start talking to me. Tweet at Look Up TV and tell me, Anki, 2022 tunaingiza huyu for this reason. Or you can also tell me, please host this particular person as they aspire for this particular position. We want to know our aspirant, and I will surely do the due diligence of finding them and bringing them to the Aspirant Forum. Thank you very much for, of course, joining us. Remember, we are live on Facebook. Let me know what you feel about this conversation that we're just beginning. And remember, to the aspirants who are watching, to all of the aspirants who are watching and looking forward to taking the next seat in 2022, this is your platform to sell your agenda. But this morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm joined by Miss Cecilia Mbati, aspiring for a member of parliament position in representation of Westlands. How are you?
I am fine. Thank you.
Good to have you.
Thank you, Auntie.
I think I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, what a bold move.
Truly.
We will hear more about it. We will hear more about your inspiration, your strength, your support, what you plan on doing, how you plan on doing it. But before we have this conversation, we have created a beautiful moment for you and the viewer and the Kenyans. So I will allow you to step out of your chair to the spot right there. You will see her go and give, I don't know, speak to Kenyans about what you want them to hear. Sell some manifestos, explain to Kenyans, give an address. So we are actually just having a moment here that I would call, what should I call it? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, let's call that. Let's call it that for now. Let's go all political, and we start with this moment. So please, you can step and take position and address the nation.
Thank you.
Karibu.
Good morning, Kenyans. My Westlands constituency, I am Cecilia Mbati Nahungu, and I am vying for the Westlands constituency MP seat 2022. By profession, I am a business consultant and a trainer. I am a mother, a wife, and a daughter. Today, I'm glad to be here to just share a little bit, a sneak preview of what my agenda is in Westlands. First of all, I look forward to be an accessible leader. What I stand for is entrepreneurship and job creation for wealth acquisition. I also stand for housing as a human right. We all know what the situation of housing that we have in some parts of our constituency. I also look forward to expanding the social systems that are available in order for us to support the vulnerable families around our constituency. Thank you very much. I hope you're going to walk with me in this journey. Asanteni sana.
All right, Mheshimiwa, thank you very much. Ndo huyo ametugusa sasa. Thank you very much for being part of this, show and beginning at a very high note. A lot of Kenyans are thinking, okay, we've probably not heard of you through this moment until today, when we're now approaching 2022. Where have you been? Why didn't you buy maybe last year, the other last, electioneering period? Was something working out, chini ya maji? Who have you been in the past?
Definitely, something was working out chini ya maji. I would say that I was building myself. As I've mentioned, I'm a business consultant, and a trainer. I am also the Vice President of Interior Design Association of Kenya. So I have been working actively in the private sector. I have worked in construction industries, in the construction industry for the past 10 years. That is basically where I've been for the most of the time. But then I started transitioning. 2017 was a good moment for me. I thought I would like to start, and I started transitioning towards being active in empowerment trainings and talking to people and meeting people. So for the past 5 years, that's what I've been doing.
Oh, that's great. I mean, a lot of people would like to keep that track record of this is what she's been doing, this is where she's been, just they can relate with the leader they want to have in office. Now, you have mentioned a few of your manifestos, and I just want you to bring us back home again. For someone who missed your address and they're just joining us, you are aspiring to be the Member of Parliament in representation for Westlands. And Westlands is one of the major, constituencies in Nairobi. So, we want to understand what you want to do differently for Westlands. Again, just break it down for the viewer.
For one, I started with being an all-inclusive and accessible leader. Yes. As we know, Westlands is cosmopolitan. We have different people of different status and different cultures. And by my observation, I think that some of the leadership that we see today is inaccessible.
Okay.
Yes. The Wanjiku today can hardly walk into a Mheshimiwa's office and their problems are sorted, instantly. So you're going to ask me, how are you going to do that?
Exactly. I like how you have read my mind, because we have had these manifestos, we have had we will, we shall, but each of them would love to know then, how are you going to do that? Because the next time we vote you, they're back at home thinking, oh, we're going to have to receive, something, appointment or word from the PA. How is the question?
First of all, we saw the decentralization of the government into the counties. That is the approach. It's very simple. It's to decentralize my leadership.
Okay.
We have 5 wards in Westlands. I want to be able to have at least 5 accessible offices. But what do I say by offices? I don't mean the big offices, people walk into, just the common, normal space that a mwananchi can walk in and say, I would like to see the Mheshimiwa over this. Now, we are in a digital era.
Absolutely.
Exactly. You see, it's not a must for someone to see me, for me to know what I want. We are going to employ a digital method in booking appointments. We know the normal way people come into the Mheshimiwa's office. You get the PA there, the manager, you fill a book.
Mheshimiwa, I think this has always existed.
No.
People speak to PAs over the phone. Is there another special way you are bringing in the booking aspect? Because we reach them. We cannot reach them, but through someone. I think it's always phone calls. Or is there another different, is there an application you're coming up with?
Yes, we are going to do a digital application, a digital website.
Okay.
Where wherever you are, if you can, we are talking to the people who have, almost everybody has smartphones right now. Where you are, you can get into the Mtandao.
All right.
You can go into the website. You can make a booking with the Mheshimiwa directly. You just book and what the reason you want to see the Mheshimiwa, and instantly the Mheshimiwa gets the message. Yes. It rings in my diary that so-and-so has booked. You get? Although of course you still have the normal PA for the other generation of people who can't access internet, but the work of the PA would be to help these people book an appointment on the website, right?
All right.
So that we don't miss out on any appointments.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I know a lot of people would ask, how then, when you get into the city, you get very busy,
Yes.
taking care of issues za wananchi. So they would want to ask the availability. Access is good, PA and receiving, but when and in what time frame do we get response from from you, Mheshimiwa? But of course, we'll come back to that. Your second agenda, your second manifesto, and how you will execute it.
My second agenda is entrepreneurship for job and wealth creation. Yes, we all know that what you're facing right now. We have so many people who are jobless, and we're not just going to say that it's the youth. You understand? Our age group for the youth comes from 18 to 35, but there are others who are above 35 who lost their jobs. We know we've had a pandemic. You get? So it's in my biggest interest to see how we are going to create these jobs and how we are going to put the entrepreneurial spirit into the people to be able to create wealth also. So it is entrepreneurship targeting two things. Entrepreneurship targeting job creation and wealth creation. So that if I'm an SME coming up, I want to be able to grow to offer jobs. Yes? And that is what I'm looking at. We are going to go to Bunge.
All right.
And there are some of the licenses we keep on talking about. It is in the hands of Bunge to help these SMEs grow, to give them a tax holiday. It is in our hands. And so that is one of the bills that I'm going to carry personally. I would want people to hold me accountable when I get to Bunge. That is one. I will talk about the other bills that I'm going to carry.
So there is more than this one?
Yes,
right.
As we go to the other agendas.
Okay.
And it's very simple. We have 5 constituencies. Again, mathematically. We were talking about how do you create jobs?
Yes.
Definitely. We want to create mass jobs. It's by industrialization. How do you do that? We partner. We get investors. We put industries in every other ward. The people get the jobs. That is the basic thinking I am using here.
All right.
Yes.
Mheshimiwa, as you speak, I know Kenyans are following closely as well. Keep talking to us on, the Aspirant Forum. Ask questions to Ms. Cecilia Mbati here on her, her aspirations. But we have had issues with, we have things in place like you were talking about, and we'll continue with other agendas. But one challenge I would bring about that Kenyans have been talking about is accountability. How do you plan to bring in accountability? We don't get most of that in the government. We have had issues with the transparency and accountability. And how would you counter that, even as we continue later on with the other agendas? What do you think would be a solution to the loopholes on accountability and transparency that we see in the now government?
Okay, I would say the way the government is structured right now, it's really hard to get the accountability from specific maybe member of parliaments or leaders or governors and everything. We are looking at, let's say, the Senate to hold the governors accountable. You get, but we are all we are all politicians, and so for me, I think the accountability can only come if it is driven by the mwananchi, because the mwananchi knows what you promised. Right now, as I'm talking about my agenda, the mwananchi listens and they know what you promised. Yes?
Okay.
And so if we would be able to have independent bodies, you understand? And these independent bodies may be including mwananchi in their committees, the normal, we cannot all fit there, but the normal representatives of mwananchi come into these committees and they be independent. Then we can hold our leaders accountable.
All right.
Yes.
I know we want to exhaust your manifesto and agendas, but I will allow you to pick another 2 key agendas and tell us how you will execute them. I know this is why we're at the Aspirant Forum. We want to understand them, so we will not do a lot of talking around the other questions. Give me 2 more I know you have a lot of them, but two more key ones that you'd want the Mwananchi to understand and how you will make it happen.
My third agenda, which is very, very close to my heart, is the housing as a human right. Yes, I've been in the construction industry for over 10 years. I've been building houses, and I understand the kind of housing a normal human being should be able to live in. Yes, it is very sad. I have walked around Westlands, my own constituency. I have gone to the deepest of the slums. I have seen how these people live. Yes. We live out here and we assume that everything is fine, but these people are living in a very bad condition. You understand?
Yes.
And as part of my agenda, because housing is very close to my heart and people are very close to my heart, they have a right to have a good living condition. Yes. Every now and then we see fires in these slums. We see fires in the dam area. We see fires in Kangemi. We see fires in Deep Sea. But what do? We go there, the leaders, normal leaders, we give them food. We give them maybe blanketi and sheets, and we go back to our cocons. But these people come back to the same places. The same places will be burnt again in a month's time. You will do the same, so it is repeat. We are with a cycle. That we are not solving anything. So one of my agenda, and as I've said, it's very close to heart, and I will walk the face of this earth. Yes, I will go to anybody I need to go to with this proposal to have better housing, to upgrade these houses. Let the people have a good living condition, for heaven's sake.
All right, we are continuing with this, and let me see if you are sending some of your feedback, because people are asking, okay, so we need the housing. The Big Four agenda has been trying to cater for the housing as well.
Yes.
And as much as we've seen certain houses come up, there's still certain concerns around it. I know you've had some of them. So Kenyans seem to have some sort of thinking when you mention housing. So we'll still, if you have questions for Mheshimiwa in regard to that, we'll read that in a bit. We'll read their feedback. Your last manifest, your last agenda, and how you'll execute it.
My last agenda is the expansion of social services.
That's interesting.
Yes, especially to target the vulnerable families. Right now, post-COVID, the number of vulnerable families have increased. Yes, and our social services are limited to very few. As we know, we have Pesa Koweze that is being given to the old, yes, and maybe I think there's also some scheme, the NHIF scheme, especially in Westlands, that is also targeting mostly the Wazes, yes, and where I sit, we have very many vulnerable families. Let me tell you, Anki.
Yes.
Last week I was in Kangemi. I was invited by a foundation, a young lady. She's called Jen. She's running a wonderful foundation. She's doing an amazing job in Kangemi. The foundation is called Havila Rescue Foundation.
Beautiful.
Yes, and we talked. And we went out and she had a meeting with the teenagers. And as these teenagers spoke, my dear Anki, a tear dropped. Because there is a young girl who's standing up there and she says, I cannot access sanitary pads. Do you understand? We use mattresses. We use clothes. This is in the 21st century in Kenya. A 14-year-old girl, a 15-year-old cannot access something as simple as a sanitary pad.
She lives in an urban setting. Informal urban settlement.
Yes.
Not really at the villages. There's somebody right in here.
Yes, it's right in here in the urban center.
Okay.
Yes. We had women who just woke up and said, Mama, we just need unga. We are starving. We don't have food in the house. You understand? We have children here who are supposed to go back to school. They were in midterm. We don't know how they're going to go back. We don't have school fees. Hatuna pesa, mama. Hatuna kazi. You understand the level of poverty people are living in? It is very saddening. Yes, and that is why one of these manifestos I'm saying is to expand that's the social services. Yes, to be able to reach some of these people. Yes, they are women who are not old. Yes, they are single mothers.
Teen mothers?
Yes, teen mothers. Yeah, that's a big problem again.
But as much as, we're talking about this, I know most of our minds are rushing to, there's this problem, we see them in the news and headlines. How is Mheshimiwa coming to counter this? How are you going to expand this? Because as much as you're expanding, the population is increasing as well. Every single day. We're having teen pregnancies, high rates now, and we're asking ourselves, and how are you executing this? How will you ensure that this is expanded? What is the plan?
As we've all heard, our next president, the fifth, has always said there is money in this country, and he himself has also told us about the 6,000 that he's going to give.
So we already have an ex-president.
Yes, the fifth. The fifth. It's not a lie.
Okay.
Yes, yes, we have the fifth, and we would say it's Raila Amolo Odinga. We have money out here. The money that is being stolen every day, the president himself mentioned. We know the numbers. No, we don't know. But we have a lot of money around government. Yes. And together, if we look at how to get this money to expand the social services, we are going to get it, Anki. We are going to get it. Yes. Plus, we have development partners. You understand? Who are willing and able to come in and give us, a sustainable way of supporting this family.
Okay.
Yes. So that is the way to go. We go partnerships. We look for money that is loose, We give back to these people. These people deserve, a good life. And most of us who are well off are paying tax. And they're also paying tax. Akienda mama mboga kununua pale unga analipa tax.
I think the supermarket is for everyone. You go in, you pay tax.
Yes, everybody is paying tax. Yeah. So we should be having a way to return this money to the people, not to the pockets.
Not to the pockets. All right. Yes. I know we would want to have this, forum run probably for 4 hours or 3 hours. Yes. It's unfortunate. It's a very short moment, but I know that with this 30 minutes, you are able to, of course, talk to the people back at home. At least they've gotten a bit of who Cecilia Mbati is. And what for Westlands, I want you, as we close here, because we're closing, I want you to, on whichever note you pick, light or serious note, talk to Westlands, our residents of Westlands. You already sold your manifesto, but what is this thing about you that they need to know today that will lighten up their day? What would lighten up their day? You say they call you Mama. Yes. So now address them as Mama. I want you to give your moment to now be Mama. Yawatra Westlands, and I'll hear if you have a light moment how a mother and a child can relate. So that's the challenge for you this morning. That's your camera over there, and enjoy a light moment and close the show for us. Actually, this Aspirant Forum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa. Watu wangu wa Westlands, mimi ni mama yenyu, Mama Mbati, mama mchapakazi, mama humble penye mnaniita. Nashukuru today to be able to be here and represent your needs. I know I have been around Westlands. I have talked to many of you. We have shared what you need and the solutions that we are capable of giving to our people. But today what I want to tell you is that kazi ya Mungu haina makosa. I would want to tell you that it is through God's hands that I've been able to stand up and say, I want to represent the people of Westlands for a better future. All-inclusive leadership. Mnajua, nyinyi wenyewe mnataka kiongozi mwenye mnaweza mfikia, kiongozi mwenye ataangalia watu wote, wamama, baba, vijana, akwe ni Mkisii, Mjaluo, Mluya, mama ambaye hana ubaguzi. Ndio mimi hapa. Mama ambaye anataka kuangalia maslahi yenu mpaka kwa nyumba, ndio mimi hapa. Na leo nawashukuru kwa vile najua bunge tunaingia. Na mama akiingia bunge, watu wote watakuwa salama Westlands. Thank you, Anki.
I was still in the moment of Mama. So I thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I want to just ask you one thing. What do the Vijana on Tower Westlands like saying? I know there are people who say Gumi, but what do they say in Westlands? Do you know the common language in Westlands? Something that's common?
Like the common lingo?
Yeah, the common lingo.
Yeah, it varies. We could say gota, Oteamade. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for tuning and for your feedback. I will keep sampling that, and of course I will just get one real quick right here as we get prepared for the extraordinary. But for the Aspirant Forum, I can see someone here says, good job watching from Jamhuri Estate here for Mageni, MP Westlands, round he ni mama. All right, round he ni mama, that is Mercy Perez saying thanks for standing with the common mwananchi, hashtag inawezekana. And of course Florence Mwangome says following from Geno, and Mageni PM says incoming member of parliament Westlands, you have my vote. Nelly Andrew says Cecilia has valid points. I feel every point she's making, and it is what mwananchi needs. Kudos. All right, I guess we have gotten a few feedback on our segment on the Aspirant Forum. Mama, please do come again. We wish you all the best. Come 2022. And remember what you have said on the Aspirant Forum and actually make it happen.
Yes.
All right, that's it for the Aspirant Forum. I want to leave you guys in a short while as I take a short breather with the extraordinary. I know you're getting, ready for new segments of the show. This is our first, Tuesday on this particular show, The Morning Drift, hashtag The Morning Drift. We're about to close the show. But there are amazing people, most of them, I would say, Kenyans, doing amazing things for Kenya. They are creative, they're innovative, they are creating solutions for local problems in different ways. They are creatives who make, seeds, ICU beds, and all these people are people we want to host right here and feature on the extraordinary segment. But today, I'm bringing you a doctor, of course, who participated in a very, very, very life-changing exercise and was applauded by most of you. I grabbed him, I got hold of him for an interview earlier on to just talk about the malaria vaccine. So if you know who I'm talking about, it is Dr. Walter Otieno, and this was our Skype moment with him, and I'll be coming back to, of course, close the show after that. Enjoy this interview. Good morning.